Now on CoastTV News.
Tariff time. We look ahead to today's big announcement on plans that will affect the U.S. economy and hear what some businesses on Delmarva are expecting.
Shops, suites, schools, that is what is on the agenda today during a public hearing on a proposed development off of Route 24 in Lewis.
Bus stop battle. It's in Milton. The struggle parents say they're facing with a new bus stop and a road closure.
We're seeing some patchy frost this morning. Hope you protected your plants. A breezy and cool Wednesday on the way, followed by a big warm up for Thursday. Details coming up.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. It is Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025.
If you're getting ready to head out the door soon, you just might want to consider grabbing that heavier coat.
Yeah, you can't retire your winter coat yet. You said you even had gloves on.
I did.
Wow.
I am not ashamed to admit it.
Yeah, we know you're a summer person, so. But the good thing is Bob showed us that Thursday looks significantly warmer. Yes.
Yes, big time, and good morning, Elisa and Matt, and hope you didn't retire your ice scraper, okay? Everybody's scrambling this morning. Where's my ice scraper? Because inland areas, you need it. 34 in Salisbury and Delmar, 40 in Seaford, 40 in Millsboro, 37 in Georgetown. I think temperatures are starting to climb a little bit with the cloud cover moving in and the breeze picking up. We're in the upper 40s at the coast. You can see that onshore wind increasing there. Still pretty light inland, but everybody will start to see that breeze picking up today, as we're mostly clear now, but there are some clouds moving in, and as those clouds move in, that will start to warm us up this morning. We have high pressure just offshore, and the flow around that high comes out of the east-southeast today, and that's going to be a cold flow. Rain and snow across the Midwest. They're expecting a big severe weather outbreak across the Midwest for today. But for us, that onshore flow and temperatures warming through the 30s and 40s. I don't think you're getting out of the 40s at the beaches today. Noon, 46 in Dewey Beach, 48 Fenwick Island. Inland, well, a little warmer, mid-50s around Delmar, low 50s from Georgetown down to Selbyville, and you should be into the mid-50s this afternoon, but chilly 40s at the coast with the wind and then increasing clouds this evening. And make sure the kids are bundled up this morning. Bus stop forecast, it's going to be frosty out there. Inland areas, 35 off to school, and heading home, 55, but feeling cooler with the breeze with increasing clouds.
Thank you, Bob. And we're now getting a live look at Washington, D.C. We're expecting a big announcement in that city from President Trump. It will have economic impact. This afternoon, it's set for the Rose Garden. Trump will reveal his tariff plan. It's on imported goods from every nation. The president, he's calling it Liberation Day, the aim of ending reliance on goods made overseas. Goldman Sachs estimates the tariffs could add $5,000 to $15,000 to the price tag of foreign-made cars. The Trump administration says it hopes it will encourage consumers to buy American. The hints of the tariff plan leading to pushback on Capitol Hill.
Nobody woke up in January and said, you know what our biggest problem is geopolitically? It's Canada. It's those Canadians. This president is picking a fight with our allies and appeasing our enemies, and it's undermining U.S. global leadership.
They're not going to be wrong. It is going to work. And the president has a brilliant team of advisors who have been studying these issues for decades. And we are focused on restoring the golden age of America.
And the Trump tariffs could impact the price of imported alcohol like beer and whiskey. Even the threat of tariffs is being felt this year on Delmarva.
I'm not really worried about it yet. Maybe down the road something will happen, but Mexico's going to do the same thing. So I know that Corona went up a little bit, but I don't attribute it to the tariffs either. I think it was just a price increase.
Delmarva's agriculture business could also expect that 80% of potash fertilizer comes from Canada.
The next step for a proposed complex that would feature apartment buildings and stores on Route 24 west of Lewis scheduled to occur tonight. It'll be during a public hearing at the Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission. According to what is listed on the documents about this meeting, the commission will review an announcement of receipt of a response from the school district. The 39-acre property is next to Beacon Middle School, part of the Cape District. And according to plans, if the project is ultimately approved, construction is expected to be completed in 2032.
And here is that area we are talking about. You can see how close that land is to Beacon Middle School. Delta is estimating that once complete, Belmead would add over 200 car trips in any hour of the week to local roads. And also at that planning and zoning meeting, a big housing development known as Marlin Cove will be reviewed. The plans for the proposed development in Selbyville calls for dividing approximately nearly 61 acres of land into 107 single-family lots and a 106 duplex across 53 acres. The site is located on the west side of New Road, about 65 feet north of Lighthouse Road on Route 54.
In Delaware, marijuana businesses are supposed to open this spring, and now there may be delay. This is due to an issue with the FBI. The state wants to use FBI background check system for mandatory checks, but the FBI rejected that, saying Delaware law was not specific enough. To comply, Delaware must specifically identify which licenses or employees need checks, require fingerprinting, and authorize the FBI to use its records. The Delaware Office of the Marijuana Commissioner says they are now working with state lawmakers to draft legislation that meets those federal requirements.
Students in Milton who were picked up at the end of their driveway on Round Pole Bridge Road in Milton are now getting picked up about 3 miles from where many of those children live.
This is due to road work on part of Round Pole Bridge Road that connects to Hudson Road and leads to Coastal Highway. CoastTV reporter Zakia Jennings shows us how this change is impacting one household.
Road work scheduled from March 24th through April 30th has frustrated multiple people living on Round Pole Bridge Road, including mom of 4, Anna Hill. As a full-time mom and full-time worker, she says she's been more than inconvenienced by these recent changes because her kids can no longer walk home and let themselves in from school due to the road closure moving their bus stop.
I had to work around a Zoom call that I wasn't able to do remotely off of my cell phone. So that kind of affected my job. I don't know how my boss perceived that, but I had to switch up my schedule. Now here I am running on empty with gas.
Running empty on gas as she rushes to pick up one of her other children. Hill's children are in 3 different schools, and she says trying to pick up all of them has been a hassle. Hill was waiting at the new bus stop, which is a 5 to 6 minute car ride from her home or a 1-hour walk home for her daughter, Kate. Kate, like many other children who live on the 3-mile stretch of road, isn't happy with her new routine for the next 5 weeks.
It's just kind of annoying because I have to wake up like 30 minutes earlier, which is already like early. School starts at 7:40. I have to wake up at like 5:15. We have to leave the house at like 6 to get down here for the bus.
As for the bus stop specifically, we reached out to the Cape Henlopen School District and have not heard back yet.
CoastTV spoke with DelDOT, who says they will not make any changes since it is a complete reconstruction of the road, and there is no road to reopen until the project is complete.
2 new positions are being proposed in Ocean City in the 2026 budget. These 2 positions would be called code enforcement officers, whose sole purpose is to make sure codes are being followed throughout the town, whether that's on the boardwalk or short-term rentals. One local thinks these positions are essential to keeping the area safe.
We need that sometimes. I mean, it would keep stuff from being on the boardwalk, intruding into the boardwalk where people walk.
And the council will continue budget talks this week ahead of the 2026 fiscal year. And happening today in Fenwick Island, the town will continue its efforts on the issue of dark skies, that is limiting lights at night or light pollution. At a committee meeting this morning, a community survey is expected to be reviewed along with several ideas aimed to promote this initiative. The dark sky meeting is scheduled for 9 a.m. at the Fenwick Island Town Hall. And we're just getting started in this hour of CoastTV News today.
Yeah, coming up, health cuts contested, the action taken by the Delaware and Maryland attorneys general against streamlined efforts of the Trump administration.
Also, Trailblazers Talk. We look at this morning's event that highlights women leaders in Delaware.
And whale study nears what we are expecting later this morning in a response to the dead whale found near the Indian River Inlet. CoastTV News Today is back after this.
Starting to see some daylight on the FH Fur Cam. Not frosty in Cambridge, 41. You have a breeze there. Clouds are increasing, but it is frosty from Salisbury up towards Georgetown, Millsboro, Redden as well. But at the beaches, we're in the mid to upper 40s as the winds are picking up. An onshore wind will be picking up throughout the day, and we've got increasing clouds as well. And you can see we've got thicker clouds back to our west. So we're looking at a mostly cloudy day, and eventually a warm front will be heading our way. That will lead to a big warm up tomorrow, but not today. As you're grabbing your extra large coffee, make sure you're bundled up and you have that ice scraper handy inland. Later today, breezy and cool with a temperature of 56.
Thank you, Bob. This just in, actor Val Kilmer died Tuesday night. He was best known for roles in blockbusters like Top Gun, Batman Forever, and as Doc Holliday in the memorable performance in The Western Tombstone. He was 65, and according to an email from his daughter to the Associated Press, he passed away from pneumonia in Los Angeles, surrounded by his family and friends. In recent years, Kilmer battled health issues. In 2017, he revealed he was recovering from throat cancer. And People magazine reported in 2021 the actor had undergone a tracheostomy that permanently damaged his speaking voice.
Here's the latest on the dead whale that was found in the Indian River Bay on Monday. It will be towed ashore. According to the Mayor Institute, members of the response team were able to secure a line to the whale on Tuesday, but they were not able to tow it in at that time due to strong winds and the tide. Mayor plans to do a necropsy on the whale today at 11 a.m.
Happening today, the CEO of Boeing will testify before Congress. Kelly Ortberg will appear before the Senate Committee on Conference, Science, and Transportation. It's expected he'll tell the panel that his company's recent missteps are unacceptable. An email he sent to employees previewed his testimony. He admits the company still has a lot of work to do, but says Boeing is starting to turn the corner.
TikTok almost out of time to find a buyer again. The app's future is uncertain as a potential ban in the United States could be just days away. TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, they're on the hook to sell the app's U.S. operations by Saturday, April 5th, or they will face a ban in the United States. And there are several potential buyers. They include a group led by billionaire, former Los Angeles Dodgers owner Frank McCourt, also Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary. Coming up, billion-dollar battle with expected health department cuts, the latest pushback against the Trump administration by Delaware and Maryland.
Starting to see some daylight on the Tunnel and Razor Cam. Mostly clear skies right now, 46. Patchy frost, inland spots this morning. Hope you protected your plants. Breezy and cool today, a big warm-up Thursday. Increasing showers as we get closer to the weekend. Weekend not a washout. I'll have your full forecast details coming up in 2 minutes.
Time is 6:16, and we're getting a live look at a breezy scene in Lewis this morning. And Bob, you've been tracking cold temperatures all morning.
Yeah, we have, and I think you'll need the entire wardrobe on standby, Matt. The winter wardrobe for today, and then the warmer clothes for tomorrow. So, yeah, kind of topsy-turvy weather. It's confusing to see, well, what clothes do I keep out? What do I stow away? 56 the high today. I don't think we get out of the 40s at the coast. Close to 80 tomorrow behind a warm front. A little cooler Friday and Saturday, and then back into the low 80s on Sunday. So a couple of days where it's feeling like summer. We're dry today. I think we could get a chance of maybe a few thunderstorms tomorrow morning with a warm front. That's up in the air. I think a better chance of seeing some showers as we go into Friday and maybe early Saturday. We get a break Sunday, and then I think a better chance of a heavier rain as we go into Monday with the cold front. But we're talking about frost this morning. Salisbury 34, 33 in Delmarva, 32 in Redden, 40 in Seaford. I think temperatures starting to come up now as the clouds are getting thicker. And we're looking at temperatures in the upper 40s at the coast where it's breezy, and that wind coming right off the ocean there. And lighter winds inland, but everybody will see an increase in those winds today and an increase in clouds too, as the clouds will start to thicken up as we go through the morning hours. Here's high pressure off the coast. The flow around that high will be coming in off the ocean, so it's going to be chilly. Lots of clouds to our west move in today. And farther to the west, it's rain and snow across the Midwest and a nasty line of storms from Kansas into Oklahoma. They're looking at a big outbreak of severe weather across the Midwest, but not for us. We're looking at that onshore flow today as temperatures not warming much at the beach, staying in the 40s pretty much all day. By the noon hour, we are into the 50s away from the coast, maybe upper 50s well inland, but I think you're mainly 40s at the beaches as we see the clouds this evening and temperatures falling back into the lower 40s. The low could occur shortly after midnight, and then we're looking at the winds turning to the south and getting pretty mild by tomorrow morning into the lower 60s. That's when we could see maybe a stray shower or a thunderstorm, and then temperatures skyrocket into the upper 70s, maybe lower 80s by tomorrow afternoon and evening with a taste of summer. But not feeling like that today with this onshore flow. It's going to be a cold wind off the ocean, and then that wind turns to the south tomorrow, and it gets strong. Secure those outdoor items. Winds gusting 30 to maybe 40 miles per hour as we go into that time period. And we keep it on unsettled Friday, maybe a few showers there. It's a Friday night, very early Saturday, but the rest of Saturday should remain dry and cloudy and very warm into Sunday. So not a washout for the weekend, and then a stronger system brings heavier rain Monday. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 56 today, 79 Thursday, and then those showers Friday into Saturday, 81 by Sunday. Another shower chance Monday, then much colder Tuesday. In fact, by Tuesday night, down to freezing, 32 degrees.
That is cold, Bob. All right, thank you for that. Overnight in Wisconsin, Susan Crawford has won a seat on that state's Supreme Court. Crawford's victory will allow liberals to maintain their narrow majority on the battleground state's highest court, seen as a defeat for Elon Musk after he spent millions of dollars to oppose her. Crawford was backed by Democrats. She secured a second 10-year term on the court over Brad Schimmel, a former Republican attorney general. This could be key because the court may rule on redistricting, which could allow for more Democrats elected from Wisconsin to the House of Representatives. Democratic attorney generals in 23 states, including Delaware and Maryland, are suing the Trump administration over the rollback of $12 billion in public health funding. The lawsuit against the Department of Health and Human Services and HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. alleges the rollback was unlawful and harmful. The suit seeks to immediately halt the funding cuts. The attorneys general say the cuts will lead to key public health services being discontinued and thousands of healthcare workers losing their jobs. Secretary Kennedy says the layoffs will make the agency more efficient and effective.
Coming up next, Promoting Progress, the event scheduled to begin later this morning, highlighting women's issues in Delaware. Coast TV News Today will be back in a moment. An event is taking place today at Delaware State University highlighting women's history. A panel will feature state leaders on topics ranging from policy to shared experiences. Delaware Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester, Delaware Department of Human Resources Secretary Yvonne Anders Gordon, and Delaware Department of Labor Lucretia Moultrie are scheduled to be a part of this panel. It is scheduled to begin at 10 a.m. at the MLK Parlors on the DSU campus. Matt, Bob has been talking about cold temperatures. When? Does Mother Nature know it's April? I don't know.
I think there's a confusion here because over the weekend, even on Monday, Bob, we hit 83 degrees, at least in the area I was living. Yesterday, I was walking same area, same time, 30 degrees lower.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it? And we're talking frost this morning, inland areas, and then by tomorrow afternoon, we'll be into the lower 80s. It's just topsy-turvy. It's going to be rough at the beaches today. Whitecaps for boaters, small craft advisory, Delaware Bay through the Atlantic Ocean, Inland Bay, Chincoteague and Assateague. Increasing clouds today, getting into the low 50s, but with that strong wind off the ocean, it's going to feel much colder. Fenwick Island and Ocean City also increasing clouds, around 50 in Ocean City, 51 in Fenwick Island, waves around 2 to 4 feet. On the bay side, big changes, 56 today in Cambridge, close to 80 tomorrow, then a little cooler with showers on Friday. Crisfield upper 50s today, wind tomorrow, and a little cooler with showers on Friday. Maybe some hit and miss showers as we go into the weekend, and still up and down temperatures. Much more on your forecast coming up in the next half hour.
Still ahead, large build in Lewis. We look at the review expected during today's public hearing over plans for a retail and apartment complex on Route 24.
Also, weed sales slow, the latest hurdle marijuana businesses have to overcome in Delaware.
And take on tariffs, the plan about to be revealed by the President Trump administration and the concern coming from both sides of the political aisle. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
Now on Coast TV News.
Shop Sweet Schools, that is what is on the agenda today during a public hearing on a proposed development off of Route 24 in Lewis.
Stall on marijuana sales, why retail sales of weed are facing a setback in Delaware.
Tariff time. We look ahead to today's big announcement on plans that will affect the U.S. economy.
We're seeing some patchy frost this morning. Hope you protected your plants. A breezy and cool Wednesday on the way, followed by a big warm-up for Thursday. Details coming up.
This is Coast TV News Today.
April 2nd, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
Time is 6:28. Cape Henlopen High School alum
Yeah.
Mason Fluharty made his big league debut last night. We're going to have more on that in a moment, but I know you're a big baseball fan. It just has to be exciting for his family and friends.
It's also really exciting for the high school because they have the Geloff brothers, too.
They are a pipeline to the big
That's
leagues.
a good alumni for Cape Henlopen.
If they were recruiting, they can come to us. You'll go to the bigs.
Absolutely. Well, that's exciting. Well, it's a cold day to play baseball, Bob, but that's what the beginning of baseball season is usually like.
Yeah, more like football weather out there today, Elisa and Matt, instead of baseball weather. Yeah, we do have a frosty start out there this morning. 34 in Salisbury and Delmar, 37 in Georgetown. Hope you protected your tender plants. They probably were a little frosty. 32 in Redden, 34 in Ocean Pines, but upper 40s from Ocean City to Rehoboth. You had an onshore breeze last night. It kept you a little warmer, and it's getting breezier there now, and eventually that breeze will translate inland too. We're looking at mostly clear skies, but clouds will be on the increase as high pressure is beginning to slide away, and we're getting into that easterly flow around that high, and that's a chilly flow that will keep us cool today. Lots of clouds back to the west, and we're looking at rain and snow across the Midwest and severe weather moving into the Midwest today. But for us, we're looking at the frost this morning, 30s and 40s, with that breeze picking up off the ocean. 10 a.m. We're looking at 47 in Fenwick Island, 45 in Dewey Beach, 50 in Millsboro. I don't think you're getting out of the 40s along the coast. Inland, lower 50s, probably winding up in the mid-50s along the 113 corridor, maybe a little milder farther to the west with increasing clouds as we go into this evening. Drivecast this morning, I gave it the yellow light because we're scraping frost. We're warming up the car, so it'll take a little while to get to work. Otherwise, the roads are dry. And then this afternoon, breezy and cool heading into this evening, and temperatures in the 50s, 40s at the coast.
Thank you, Bob. And we are now taking a live look at our nation's capital. After months of speculation, President Trump will unveil his much anticipated new tariff plan today at the White House. This comes a day after voters went to the polls in two key states and gave an early indication of how they feel about the second Trump administration so far.
NBC's Alice Barr shows us Democrats are ramping up their opposition to the president's agenda and how a one-man protest set a new record in the Senate.
This morning, after the first major elections of President Trump's second term, both Democrats and Republicans claiming victories, they hope point to a larger picture.
All right, Wisconsin, we did it.
Susan Crawford beating conservative Brad Schimmel.
You got to accept the results.
In Wisconsin's closely watched Supreme Court race, maintaining a liberal majority on the battleground state's high court, despite Trump advisor Elon Musk pouring millions into the race.
Wisconsinites fended off an unprecedented attack on our democracy.
And fueling Democrats' views of Musk as a political weakness.
Elon Musk was just rejected decisively.
While in Florida, 2 Republicans won special elections for congressional seats left vacant by Trump appointees, shoring up the razor-thin GOP House majority.
This election is a reminder that Florida Panhandle will forever be red and it'll be forever Trump country.
Both candidates won by far smaller margins than President Trump's November victory, as Democrats look to seize on any sign of momentum. Senator Cory Booker set a record 25-hour-plus speech on the Senate floor against what he calls a national crisis posed by President Trump.
And he's violating principles that we hold dear.
It all comes as the nation and the world are bracing for the president's reciprocal tariffs rollout today against all foreign trading partners.
They've been ripping us off for years.
Canada among the nations awaiting a full list and promising to push back.
We'll go tariff for tariff, dollar for dollar.
The new tariffs are set to take effect immediately and add to a sweeping series already in place. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
New overnight history was made on Capitol Hill on Tuesday evening as New Jersey Senator Cory Booker broke the record for the longest speech in Senate history. Booker began his marathon remarks on Monday and tore into what he called the Trump administration's grave and urgent threat to the country. Clocking in at 25 hours and 4 minutes, he surpassed the previous record held by Senator Strom Thurmond, who spoke for 24 hours and 18 minutes in opposition of the Civil Rights Act in 1957. In order to keep control of the Senate, Booker remained standing and did not leave the floor for a bathroom break during his entire speech. He was joined at times by other Democratic senators who chimed in to speak and ask questions, allowing Booker to give his voice a rest.
There's a room here in the Senate named after Strom Thurmond. To hate him was wrong. And maybe my ego got too caught up that if I stood here, maybe, just maybe I could break this record of the man who tried to stop the rights upon which I stand. I'm not here, though, because of his speech. I'm here despite his speech. I'm here because as powerful as he was, the people were more powerful.
And the speech was not considered a filibuster because Booker was not blocking legislation or a nomination.
Happening today, a big housing development known as Marlin Cove will go before the Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission. Plans for the proposed development in Selbyville call for dividing approximately 61 acres of land into 107 single-family lots and 106 duplex units across 53 lots. Site's located on the west side of New Road. It's about 65 feet north of Lighthouse Road on Route 54. And again, that meeting taking place at 5 p.m. Also, at that very same meeting in Sussex County, the next step for a proposed complex that would feature apartment buildings and stores on Route 24 west of Lewis is scheduled to occur tonight. What is being listed on the documents of the Belmead about this meeting? The commission will review an announcement of receipt of a response from the school district. The 39-acre property is next to Beacon Middle School, part of the Cape District, and according to plans, if this is ultimately approved, construction is expected to be completed in 2032.
And here is that area we are talking about. You can see how close that land is to Beacon Middle School. Delta is estimating that once complete, Belmead would add over 200 car trips in any hour of the week to local roads. And happening this morning, the dead whale that was found in the Indian River Bay on Monday will be towed ashore. According to the Murr Institute, members of the response team were able to secure a line to that whale on Tuesday, but they were not able to tow it due to strong winds and tide. Murr says it plans to do a necropsy on that whale today at 11 a.m.
Developing news in Sussex County. The deadline to challenge the new property assessments has passed, and it looks like about only 1% of property owners actually filed appeals. Out of the nearly 200,000 properties, fewer than 800 owners contested their values, and county officials say that shows the process was fair. Next, the county plans to lower tax rates in June to keep revenue the same and send out the tax bills in August.
Developing news in Delaware, the state was supposed to start opening marijuana businesses this spring, but that may now be delayed thanks to a snag with the FBI. Delaware was working to use an FBI background check system for mandatory checks, but the FBI rejected the request, saying Delaware law was not specific enough. To comply, Delaware must specifically identify which licensees or employees need checks, require fingerprinting, and authorize the FBI to use its records. Zoe Pachel with the Delaware Cannabis Advocacy Network says the federal government should not have even been involved with the background checks in the first place.
The federal policy does not support legalization. The federal policy is one of prohibition. So we are certainly not optimistic or hopeful that a change to the legislation is going to make much of a difference.
And the Delaware Office of Marijuana Commissioner says they are now working with state lawmakers to draft legislation that meets those federal requirements.
This just in, according to Border Patrol data, March had the lowest southwest border crossings in history. The agency says there were over 7,100 crossings last month. Daily apprehensions fell to about 230 per day, and the agency says the previous administration recorded daily encounters of 5,000 per day. Border Patrol says it will have the finalized report in the upcoming days. And still more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up after the break, stuffed animals aren't just for kids, why experts say the childhood staple can help adults sleep better.
Also, Cape Henlopen, Smyrna, girls soccer. It was a barn burner last night. We'll see who came out on top.
And up next, business fire in Cambridge, details about the ongoing investigation into this early afternoon blaze. Stay with us on CoastTV News Today.
We salute Brigadier General James A. Benson. Brigadier General James A. Benson serves as the Assistant Adjutant General of the Delaware Army National Guard, a role he assumed in June 2023. Since beginning his military career in 1992, General Benson has held various leadership positions and received extensive military education, including a Master of Strategic Studies from the Army War College. He has been recognized for his service with multiple commendations, such as the Bronze Star during deployments in Iraq and Afghanistan. His leadership significantly enhances the operational readiness and effectiveness of the Delaware Army National Guard.
Spicer Brothers and CoastTV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a CoastTV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
640 on this chilly Wednesday morning. Gutter Helmet Cam 46 in Ocean View. You see the breeze kicking up there in Indian River Bay. Frosty inland areas with temperatures into the 30s here, but at the coast we're into the mid to upper 40s as the winds are picking up, already gusting over 20 miles per hour at the coast as the clouds are beginning to increase, and that will continue throughout the day as high pressure beginning to slide away. We're going to have a cold onshore flow, and you see all the clouds starting to increase across the Ohio Valley, and that's what's headed our way. Today's checklist: you need the ice scraper, inland areas, warm up the car. You'll need the winter coat, maybe all day at the coast. Secure the outdoor items because it's getting breezy. Make sure you have a warm beverage, sunscreen, and sunglasses, especially this morning. And congratulations to Rick Diziak from Milton on winning a new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV.
Happening across Delmarva, the Maryland State Fire Marshal is investigating the cause of this fire in Cambridge. Crews responded to the fire on April 1st around 11:45 a.m. and it took about 45 minutes to control. Preliminary investigation shows that fire started accidentally when an employee was taking apart a junk car inside of a garage bay. The estimated cost of damages is $180,000.
Big night in Major League Baseball on Tuesday for one of our own. Lewis's Mason Fluharty in his first appearance in the show, pitching for the Blue Jays.
23-year-old Mason Fluharty about to make his Major League debut, a fifth-round pick out of Liberty University, a college.
He pitched one full inning, including a strikeout of the Nationals' Nathaniel Lowe. Fluharty's Blue Jays would rally for a 5-3 win over the Nats.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Cape Henlopen girls soccer ended last season strong, winning 5 of its last 6 games. And this season, they're trying to keep that momentum going. Last night, taking on the Smyrna Eagles, and 7 minutes in, Ava Brown is off to the races, keeps her footing, and finishes the job. Vikings up 1-0. Same score in the second half. Brown's pass deflects and then spins back to Lily Holodick, who floats it in the back of the net to make it 2-0 Cape Henlopen. But here comes Smyrna. The free kick comes to Anna Duke, and she doesn't waste her chance, burying this one in the back. It's a 2-1 game after the sophomores finish, but less than 2 minutes later, Vikings strike back on a corner. The ball ricochets to Holodick on the near side, and she rips the net for her second of the night. It's 3-1 Cape. Later, it's now 3-2 Cape Henlopen, 14 minutes to go, and Emily Dunlop goes upper 90 for the tie. A pretty finish knots things at 3. With less than 2 minutes left, Cape looking for some magic, and Haley Rogers provides some on the free kick. It flies straight in to put the Vikings ahead for good. Cape Henlopen wins a thriller 4-3. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day, everyone.
And coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, 5:30, we have girls high school lacrosse when Decatur visits North Carolina. Then at 10:30, tune in to the final score. Over on the DSM Plus app, you get that Decatur North Carolina game, plus these at 4 o'clock. Girls lacrosse, Lake Forest travels to Indian River. At that same time, Sussex Tech, they will play Sussex Central. And boys lacrosse, 5:30, we have Saints Peter and Paul at Cape Henlopen. That's also for boys lacrosse. We have a girls lacrosse matchup for you at 5:30 with Cape Girls at Sussex Academy.
And here's a look at what's coming up today on Coast Life at 4.
Well, we hope you're enjoying your day so far, and hopefully we can make it better. Today at 4 on Coast Life, let's see what's coming up today on the show.
Education, a chance to teach the next generation how important our wetlands are through a great book that's just been written to help them understand.
Can't wait for that. And we know, thinking about the crawl space is not always the most glamorous to-do list on your household chore items, but we're going to talk about why it's so important. We've got all that and more coming up today at 4 on Coast Life.
We're seeing a choppy Delaware Bay on the Tullin Razor Can with that onshore flow. It's going to be a chilly day, but first we have the frost inland areas this morning. Hope you protected your plants last night. Breezy and cool today, then a big warm up Thursday. Increasing showers towards the end of the week, hit and miss showers for the weekend. Your full forecast details coming up in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
Time is now 6:47, and we're taking a live look outside at Laurel this morning. And Bob, that sun is starting to come out. Hopefully it warms up a little bit this morning. It was way too cold. I'm not happy, Bob.
Well, if you're not happy, I'm not happy,
there you
Lisa,
go.
and the world is not happy. But, well, no, we need to cheer up because we will see that frost melting off this morning. But it is frosty inland areas, and we're looking at up and down temperatures. It's going to be a conflict with the wardrobe the next few days. You're going to go with the colder clothes today, 56 the high, 40s at the beaches, and then tomorrow, 79. You're scrambling for the shorts and T-shirts. A little cooler Friday and Saturday, and then back to the summer clothes on Sunday, 81 degrees. As far as rain chances, we're dry today. Could see a thunderstorm tomorrow morning with a warm front. Otherwise, we're looking at increasing shower chances, just scattered Friday into Saturday. I think we dry it out Sunday, then late Sunday into Monday. I think a better chance of heavier rain with a cold front. But this morning, the big story is the frost inland areas, 34 in Salisbury, 33 in Redden, 37 in Georgetown. But at the beaches, we're into the mid to upper 40s from Rehoboth down to Ocean City as the breezes are picking up there, gusting over 20 miles per hour. Still light winds inland, but everybody will start to see those breezes picking up through time as we're looking at, we'll call it mostly clear skies to partly cloudy conditions. High pressure just offshore. The flow around that high is pushing that wind off the ocean. So that's going to be a cold wind today, plus increasing clouds. Going to be a chilly day. Back to the west, rain and snow across the Midwest and a nasty line of storms from eastern Kansas into Oklahoma. This will be moving to the east, and they could see a big tornado outbreak across the Midwest for today. But for us, we're looking at that onshore flow today. And temperatures slowly warming through the 40s. I don't think you're getting out of the 40s at the beaches with 50s inland, maybe upper 50s, farther inland, 54 around Millsboro. And then we start to see the clouds increasing this evening. Temperatures for a time dipping into the upper 40s, maybe shortly after midnight. And then a southerly breeze will bump those temperatures up considerably. Lower 60s tomorrow morning. That's when we could see a stray shower or a thunderstorm. And then into the afternoon, 70s to around 80 degrees. A little cooler at the coast. It is going to be a lot cooler at the coast today with that breezy easterly wind. So you need that winter jacket pretty much all day. And then the southerly winds kick in tomorrow, maybe gusting up to 35 miles per hour. Make sure those outdoor items are secured. Heading into Friday, there is a boundary that will be hanging around. Could give us a few showers Friday night into early Saturday. Won't be a washout for the weekend. I think it's just warm and cloudy on Sunday. And then a front will bring a better chance of rain as we go into later Sunday into Monday. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast, 56 today, 79 Thursday, up and down temperatures. A few showers Friday into Saturday, and then 81 on Sunday, cooling down into early next week with showers on Monday, 52 Tuesday, and then by Tuesday night, oh boy, the cold weather is back with a low of 32.
That does stand out. Thank you, Bob. New this morning, local filmmakers are invited to submit their short films to the Lower Short Film Festival. The event will take place Wednesday, May 21st at the Milton Theater. Films must be under 30 minutes and submitted by May 7th at midnight, and selected filmmakers will be notified by email and have their work shown at the Milton Theater. Mary Institute is gearing up for its annual yard sale. They're accepting donations from April 15th to May 8th. Sales scheduled for May 10th. Funds raised support marine animal rescue and outreach programs.
Happening today, the Food Bank of Delaware is receiving an over $27,000 donation. Dunkin' Donuts of Greater Philadelphia is donating to the food bank as a part of its annual Roast Hunger program, which ran over the holiday season. The event will take place at the Food Bank of Delaware's Newark location. It's worth noting this event comes as Delaware lawmakers are having concerns over a mass cut to the nation's food bank supplies. And the time is now 6:51, so we're going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day, right there on your screen, Milo. Milo is a 1-year-old and loves to play with his sisters. Milo was sent to us by Mike and Cindy in Selbyville.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
If you do that, you'll see that QR code at the top. Scan that to get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
And a beautiful sunrise now in Cambridge on the FH Fair camera. The sun through the high clouds and choppy water out there. It's going to be a chilly day and a breezy one too. And we're looking at much warmer conditions tomorrow. In fact, up and down temperatures the next several days. Some showers Friday into a part of the weekend. Not a washout. Your 10-day forecast is coming up next.
It's 6:54, and here are the things you need to know before you go. Happening today, the dead whale that was found in the Indian River Bay on Monday will be towed ashore. According to the Murr Institute, members of the response team were able to secure a line to that whale on Tuesday, but were not able to tow it due to strong winds and tide. Murr says plans to do a necropsy today are expected at 11 a.m.
This afternoon at a Rose Garden event, President Trump will reveal his tariff plan. It's on imported goods from every nation. The president calling it Liberation Day with the aim of ending reliance on goods made overseas. Goldman Sachs estimates the tariffs could add $5,000 to $15,000 to the price of foreign-made cars. The Trump administration says it hopes it will encourage consumers to buy American.
The next step for a proposed complex that would feature apartment buildings and stores on Route 24 west of Lewis is scheduled to occur tonight. It will be during a public hearing at the Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission. According to what is listed on the documents about this meeting, the commission will review an announcement on a receipt of a response to the school district. The 39-acre property is next to Beacon Middle School, part of the Cape District. According to plans, if the project is ultimately approved, construction is expected to be completed in 2032.
Lewis's Mason Fluharty made his debut pitching for the Blue Jays Tuesday night. He pitched one inning, striking out the Nationals' Nathaniel Lowe. Fluharty's Blue Jays would rally for a 5-3 win over the Nats.
And at 6:56, we're going to take another quick look at your forecast before you head out the door.
Bob, let's have a warm-up today. What do you say?
Yes, please. Yes.
I mean, I think we all agree we want to warm up. But the thing is, it's not going to really warm up today. The warm-up comes tomorrow. We are looking at frosty conditions out there this morning, inland areas. So leave extra time to scrape the frost, warm up the car. But we've got a chilly east-southeast wind today. So we're slowly warming through the 50s, increasing clouds, mid-50s later on. I think at the beaches, you are not getting out of the 40s. Then tonight, a warm front moves through. So 48 shortly after midnight. And then temperatures skyrocket tomorrow. Could see a thunderstorm tomorrow morning. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, 79, some places getting into the 80s perhaps. Still a chance of a few showers Friday into Saturday. Temperatures around 70. Then here comes the summer warmth again on Sunday, 81 degrees. A little cooler into next week with showers Monday, and the winter chill still hanging around 32 as we head into next Wednesday morning with 50s and 60s and maybe another rain chance by next Friday.
Thank you, Bob. Thursday looks better. Well, thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be back for Coast TV midday at 11.
And until then, have a good Wednesday morning, everybody.